Hi everyone, welcome back to the Navigant Credit Union Broadcast Center. I'm GoLocal News editor Kate Nagel, joined by James Monteiro. Thanks for coming back in today. We've
Absolutely.
had you in here in studio before, but wanted to let folks know what you've been up to since we last had you in. You were kind of at a crossroads, if you will. You had your Prison Bridge program through College Unbound that you were fighting over the rights to that, saying this was your baby. This was how to educate incarcerated individuals who wanted to get back into the workforce, back into society, and having a little trouble with who actually had the reins to that. And here you are this week, sitting next to John Legend, with a bunch of other individuals, like-minded individuals, wanting to help folks basically, get back and get on their feet, if you will. Talk with us about the path to where we had last spoken with you and where you are today.
It's been a long road travel, but we're actually excited. Things are good right now. We have a lot of momentum. As you said, John Legend is somebody who we applied to this foundation. John Legend's spearheading it with, I believe it's Bank of America and New Profit Unlock Futures. And we were awarded along with 8 other amazing organizations, and just came back from New York. It's been a really good ride.
So let's talk a little bit about what this helps you do with your goals, getting, both, the national recognition which you've gotten before, echoing green. I mean, this is not the first time that you have been recognized for the work that it is that you're doing and are trying to do. But what will this enable you to do now?
It's gonna help us reach out to more students. There's approximately 85,000 people currently incarcerated that are taking post-secondary educational courses. And our goal is to help these individuals finish. A lot of people are doing education good behind the walls, but what's happening is when people transition from being in prison to outside, life on life's term shows up, they have to juggle between, okay, do I get a job or do I finish school? Do I get a job or do I finish school? And more than likely, a lot of them will just opt out of school and take the job, which doesn't pay them a livable wage, which ends up bringing them back to prison. So this money is going to actually help us to kind of build our structure and begin to scale outwards. We're doing a pretty good job here at Roger Williams. We plan on being in Chicago and New York by the end of the year.
Oh, so you're getting outside of Rhode Island with this.
Yeah.
I knew I could get what the news was out of you here. Well, you were in New York. I mean, Fast Company, focusing on, there were 8 in total that were awarded, okay? Sitting around that round table, sitting with John Legend. I mean, to give that validation to the work that folks are doing in communities around the country, how, what was your reaction to hearing what other people are doing around? It must have been such an amazing group of people sitting down at one table.
It was. It's good to see other people who have been affected by the criminal justice system here in America getting out and doing positive and amazing things. And what was really interesting is the way they picked the cohort. Everybody's project pretty much complements everybody else's project. So it's not like there's 2 people doing education. There's one person doing education, another person doing employment, one person's funding education. It's just they did a really good job with the selection of the cohort. So it was good to be around like-minded people, sharing an idea of helping people who are coming home from being in a position where they end up going back to prison. So.
And how much does it mean to have, the support and also just the visibility to have, a top-level celebrity, if you will, say, this is where I'm going to put my time and effort, and this is what's important to me, and here's why. I mean, again, to have the light shown on the work that you're doing. I mean, how much does that help? Again, go to the next stage. You're going to Chicago and New York.
Yeah, John, and it's public. I mean, a lot of people don't know this. His mother was addicted to substances. She was in and out of prison his whole life, and he's somebody who experienced this firsthand. What I really admire about him is he didn't just get a lot of fame and then forget about his past. He's doing something to try to reach back and help others who are being impacted by this issue the same way that his family member, his mother, was impacted. There's a huge opioid epidemic happening. I just know, like in the past month, I know 3 people that have overdosed and died. So I think we need to do a better job with providing services for these individuals who are coming home, and I commend John for actually making this one of his main issues.
So are you going to be in between Providence and Chicago and New York trying to get this off the ground?
Oh
You're like,
Actually, I am.
I've got people.
Actually, I am for now. In addition to the John Legend New Profit Unlock Futures campaign that we awarded, I've been selected by Just Leadership USA to be one of their leaders this year. They're going to train us with a leadership training. Social Enterprise Greenhouse. We've been selected by Social Enterprise Greenhouse. We've partnered with Eileen Hayes at Amos House. We have the lowest rate in the state for post-secondary education for formerly incarcerated coming out of prison at Roger Williams University. And I'm just going to connect with people who are doing things, and that's what's cool about what they've done. They've selected people as though I can go to New York, I meet with somebody in New York, and they run the program in New York. James is not going to be moving to New York. My wife will not have that. Trust me.
But you found the people. You found who you're working with.
Yes, through these networks, through Just Leadership USA, because they've trained leaders all around the country. And through SEG, they connect you to a network of individuals also.
So very good. As I said, last time we had you in, you were kind of figuring out the next step. You kind of hit that roadblock, if you will. Did you must have known that you were going to pivot and continue on the path to where you're going?
Somebody said this the other day. I forget where I heard it. They said, if you work doing what you love to do, you never have to work another day in your life. And this is something I'm extremely passionate about. This is something that actually keeps me alive. I couldn't stop, even if I wanted to. It's just I go forward. There's roadblocks, there's setbacks along the way, but I think that one of the things that I've learned from my own experience with incarceration is tenacity, and it's pushing forward through stuck points, not giving up, and always going forward.
Well, we're going to continue to keep an eye on you and your initiatives here nationally. Again, when I saw what you were up to, I said, gotta get James back in here, talk what he's up to, because here we are in downtown Providence, and you're all around the country. You're all in the world.
I'm trying to land a little
bit. But just to let folks know, again, saw what you got, the recognition for the work that it is that you're doing. I want to let folks know, here we are. We might be having you back in the coming months to hear about the next step. But you're there, your boots on the ground, again, trying to provide these educational opportunities for formerly incarcerated individuals finishing up their degrees. To give them that education, to give them that next step. Because as you mentioned, the job, it's a difficult, I see it with youth all the time.
Yeah, 90% of these individuals are coming home, Kate. 90%. So how do we want them to return back to society? I always say this. I look in the visit. One day I'm at the prison, Department of Corrections in Rhode Island, Cranston. And I look in the visitor room, and it's practically filled with people who are taking GED courses, all of this stuff. There's an award ceremony, and I'm looking out at this room, and I'm like, okay, all of these people are trying to better themselves. What happens? What's the impact to these communities that they come home to if they do better themselves? I know the impact that I've been able to make. I'm grateful. I'm honored. I didn't expect to be here. It just makes sense. It's a public safety issue. If we don't do something with them, we already know what the impact is that's going to happen. The recidivism rate is what, 60%? So they come back out. There's no opportunities. Burden on the what do you call it? DHS system, communities. We need to do better, and we can do better. It just makes sense.
Well, I appreciate your coming back in today, just to let folks know what you're up to in the community and getting the national recognition. So congratulations, and I am sure we will talk with you moving forward. James Monteiro, thank you so much. I'll let you go around the corner.
Thank you, Kate. All right.
James Monteiro, community leader here. We've had him in before, but he just was featured in Fast Company, sitting down next to John Legend. Unlocked Futures, again, recognizing 8 individuals from around the country working on initiatives to help formerly incarcerated individuals. James Monteiro, one of those 8. Glad we were able to get him in here today to tell his story here at GoLocal, here in the Navigant Credit Union Broadcast Center. That just about wraps up an other news and politics show. It was a busy day here in the studio. Kicked off with former state rep Ray Rickman in his big view. An aspiring state rep candidate Billy Hunt of the Libertarian Party running again in District 68 announced here today. He had made mention of the fact when he ran in 16, he said the 38% of the vote he got was the second highest nationally for a Libertarian candidate for a statewide race out of anyone across the country. So in a two-way race, appreciate Billy coming in here into the studio. Dave Marble with Ocean providing network capabilities to nonprofits throughout the state, government, schools, universities, K through 12. Had a very interesting conversation about the net neutrality debate and what Ocean is looking to do moving forward. And then, of course, James Monteiro with being in New York, now here in Providence, again, what he's doing here for education for formerly incarcerated individuals. So we'll see everyone back here tomorrow at the 3 o'clock hour for Lifestyle with Molly O'Brien. I will be back at 4 o'clock. We appreciate your watching. We appreciate your feedback. Wish everyone a good Thursday evening. Stay tuned to Go Local for more news, politics, lifestyle, and sports, but we'll see you back here in studio tomorrow. I'm Go Local News Editor Kate.